Hello everybody, Sam Burge here with another How to Train Your Dragon video breakdown. Like I said in the last video, I'm going to be breaking down the shorts, and we're going to start off with Legend of the BONeKNAPPER. I'm going to briefly just go over this short and give you an idea what the story is. Feel free to watch it on your own if you haven't. If you have, and I miss any important details, let me know in the comments below. So the story starts off with everybody on Burke, and there's another dragon sort of causing hell for our people on Burke, and Gobber is claiming it to be the BONeKNAPPER. Now this was really an interesting little plot twist because the sort of scenario they play with this is the dragon is after Gobber alone. That's basically what it is. That's what Gobber claims. And, you know, Hiccup and all of them are like, well, we should help him find this dragon and put an end to this. So they do. The confusing part is the dragons aren't there. Yep. Only Gobber and the gang on a boat to this dragon to find it. And then they get kind of curious and ask Gobber some, you know, how do you know about this dragon, whatnot. And now I'm just going to get into the crazier part of this short. First time Gobber claims that he met the dragon was when him and his family were on a Viking trip, I guess. That's how I played it. And he finds this frozen Viking, and it's got this box. Gobber wants it. You know, it's a really crazy story. And he never explains what was in the box. But then the second time he meets the dragon, it's out on a desert island, I do believe. And basically the stories get ridiculous, but the BONeKNAPPER is in it. And then the third and final time, he's hunting the dragon down, and the volcano erupts and whatnot. And it's just, the story gets kind of ridiculous after a while, because like it just does. The stories are meant to be ridiculous. I get the plot point of why the stories are outlandish, but you know, Gobber claims this to be true, and it's just like, okay. And then everybody has their little skeptical viewpoints of like, you know, he's crazy. He's just crazy. There's no such thing as a BONeKNAPPER. There ain't no such thing as this, or the stories he tells are just outlandish. And then we finally get to meet the BONeKNAPPER, and I just want to take a real quick second and just sort of talk about the dragon. So besides the story, you know, the group is trying to capture this dragon, but the BONeKNAPPER, I kind of love the design. I like the gimmick of it being covered in bones. I thought it was a really cool scenario, but it gets kind of where I say it's like the dragon kind of looks like a copy and paste, in my opinion, of a monstrous nightmare. Yeah, and it's kind of out there, and it's like, I don't know, it's just like, it felt like when I first seen this dragon, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then like I watched this to do this review about 4 or 5 times, and I started seeing a lot of, you know, BONeKNAPPER and then the monstrous nightmare just like kind of combining, and that's what it kind of reminds me of, kind of like a cheap copy paste dragon. But I mean, it's not like terribly copy and paste. It's just, I'm saying, like, I see a lot of similar looks of the monstrous nightmare and the BONeKNAPPER. You know, this ain't like a palette swap dragon like they do in most of the movies, where it's like the same model of dragon but different color variations. This is more like, it looks like they took the model of the monstrous nightmare and then put bones on him. That's kind of what I'm saying. Not a bad look. I'm just saying it was kind of like, okay, that's kind of like a whimsical, quick and easy made dragon right there. But I mean, still a cool concept, you know, with the whole being covered in bones. So I mean, the dragon, I'm just judging right now, is just, it's an okay. I like it. It bypasses, you know, standards of, you know, good job, you something a little bit creative, but still good. So back to the story. The gang sets up a trap, and like every outlandish cartoonish style, You know, they use fish legs as bait, but then the trap, you know, like Scooby-Doo fucking misfires and the game gets captured. And I did miss the most important detail. The thing that the dragon is after is actually a bone that Gobber uses to make for a belt for his pants. That's kind of the inline joke. And they kind of come to the conclusion why the BONeKNAPPER is after him, because the dragon has to have a complete set to be perfect, I guess. I don't know, just saying, basically they're saying like it was missing one piece, which was this little bone piece that went on his chest, which gave the dragon his roar back. And I do want to say that there's kind of a theory, because when I first watched this video, I was like, well, why does the Viking have a golden box and why is there a bone? And then it kind of makes sense. It's like, okay, well, that piece completes the dragon, but it also, that bone piece actually gives the dragon its roar back. So my theory was kind of these Vikings were, you know, fighting this monstrous nightmare. Somebody got that piece out, the dragon lost his roar, and, you know, he's mad and upset about it, obviously, but that's kind of my theory of, like, how this all actually could have worked out. Is just these set of Vikings that were frozen from the first tall tale of Gobbers. They were trying to get away from the BONeKNAPPER, got themselves frozen. Gobber so happened to found the box. The BONeKNAPPER started chasing Gobber because Gobber now has that piece. So it was more like, you know, my theory was always that the Vikings that had the box before were trying to keep it away from the BONeKNAPPER, so the BONeKNAPPER would leave the village of Vikings that it was attacking alone. Kind of my idea of how this could play out. Other than that, I mean, the story was great. It was short. It was silly. I get it. It wasn't bad. The ending's hilarious because they pull off this one joke, which you'll see right now.
Hey, Obo. He sure seems happy to have that bone back.
Well, legend says the BONeKNAPPER's roar is its mating call.
Oh, that's just a myth. Uh-oh. I think Stoic will believe me now, eh?
And other than that, I just like, you know, the whole entire short was done well. I can't really complain, really honestly, to judge a short. It didn't drag out too long. It wasn't kind of redundant, and I felt like the story was short, simple, and good to the point. But alrighty, so that's it for the BONeKNAPPER, for my breakdown on it. Next time we'll be doing the Book of Dragons, and oh my god, if you stay tuned for the Book of Dragons, get ready, because I'm going to kind of tear this one up a little bit more than I did the Legend of the BONeKNAPPERS, but there's a reason behind that. But until then, please like, comment, subscribe, have a nice day, and tell me what you think.